So guys, well, I got a little gift today. I got a Lowepro RDA, and I got a Peso V2 to go with it. They match really nicely. Kind of makes it look like it just has a simple little wedding band around there. I don't know if you guys aren't as experienced as most of us are with building, so I'm gonna teach you guys how to build this. I took the build out of it already, installed one coil. I'll give you guys some specs once I'm done rebuilding it. I'm gonna be putting 6 wrap 24 gauge dual coils in here. They are going to not be spaced, which sucks because I usually like my spaced coils, but to each their own. I'm going to be working with 24 gauge Kenthal. Uh, G-Plat or something else would probably be easier to build with, but that's what I'm going to be using. My wire cutters, only ones I really recommend. Had them for over a year, they still work flawlessly. Ceramic tweezers, my coil jig that I got from eBay for like fucking $4, and my mutt, which is excessive, but makes everything a lot easier. So, continuing to, I always do one extra wrap just because of the fact that I know how sloppy my shit is. So, I always just want my clothes to match up perfectly. Alright, so basically, you're gonna have your standard build coil. You would always have it. You're gonna throw it back on, snip the leads. Well, I have to because I'm using a mutt, but some of you guys won't be. So, put it back over, and then what you're gonna want to do is, come on, wait. Let me do the focus on this fucking camera. Alright, you guys see how that lead is? You're gonna grab one lead and push it down basically to a point where you just twist it, twist both your leads, and if you do it right the first time, which I usually fucking do, you should have parallel coil. Well, not parallel coil, but your lead should basically run in parallel. Now, it is a little tricky to do the first time or whatever, but you get used to it real quick. I did, at least. But yeah, there's that part. And because I'm just professional with my shit, I gotta make sure it's right. Okay. And once you get that done, you're gonna put grab your pliers. You're gonna go to your coil. Basically, you're gonna pinch one lead of your coil, and you're just gonna tilt it down. If you put your coil tight enough, it should not fuck with your coil. If you didn't, then you're gonna find out real quick. Do the same thing with the other side. Just lift it up, and there you go. You got your own perfect little coil. Now, this is not by my means. Do not like this, but there you go. That's what your coil will look like when you're done. Perfect. You have to basically get a feel for the IRDA itself. So I just drop it in, measure it, and cut it. That is just my personal opinion. That is just the way that I like to do this. So, like everybody else has their own building techniques, their own building advice. That's my way of doing it. You don't like it, you don't need to. That is fine. I will drop my screw back in, my screwdriver. I tighten it just to a point where I have a little bit of tension so I can somewhat control the placement of my coil. That makes any damn sense. Only because like I said, I'm very, very anal about my goddamn coils. But that's just the way I am. There goes that one. So tighten that down, tighten that down. Get your wire cutters. snip it down, and it should look like that. And then you're gonna pinch and fucking fire and hold, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I just use my ceramic tweezers. That's the cool part about ceramic tweezers. You don't have to worry about whether you're firing and pinching at the same time. Perfect. There you guys go. 2 perfectly 6-wrap coils in there. Alright, now I'll zoom out. Now here comes the tricky part. Wicking this thing. Cotton bacon. Only kind of wick I use, really, is cotton bacon. You're going to use a little bit of it. Not going to use as much as you would normally use for these type of coils, only because of the fact that, well, you don't have that much room to work with, really. That's just the reality of it. Your room is really tied off. So get your scissors, cut it. Now I like to grab this part and twist the shit out of it. That's just the way I do mine. Don't have any extra wire done. Feed it through however the hell you can. I find using a piece of fucking wire helps just push it right on through. Get your tweezers as soon as you can get it. Pinch it or whatever. On the other side, just grab it. It is really a pain in the ass to do in the beginning, but you get used to it real quick. There goes one. Only reason I'm not really showing you guys how to build the coils and all that shit is because you're already in rebuildables. If you're getting one of these, and you should already know how to build your own damn coils. So this is basically a general idea as to how to do it. If you guys really want me to, I will teach you how to build coils my way, but it ain't the really best way to do it. Now from there, get my wicks. Cut my wicks. Here comes the tricky part. Basically, that's what your coil and stuff are going to look like. From there, I like to push this cotton down. And while I'm pushing it down, I'm trying to push it underneath the wire. So it looks something like that. That way I could just grab a little bit of extra wire. Or I can grab wherever the hell my other fucking tweezers went. There you go. Now those tweezers, I cut the tips off of them to fix something, and so I can't really use them to do this type of shit anymore. But I will say this, they are still reliable. Basically that's the way I wick mine. Once it zooms in, there you go. I basically make it so that it's like a little driveway or whatever. Surprisingly, I've not gotten any fucking spitback with this damn thing. I will say this, that is really shocking. Because with most of these small ass fucking RDAs, you drink more juice than you actually fucking vape. Which is a real big pain in my ass. I really don't like. So, that's a plus. The only negative to this thing really is the fact that you have to know how to build in order to be able to build this thing right. But that's the way I built mine. Yeah, seems to do the job really well. And for juice, I'm going to use some stimulus. I've had it for a minute. I haven't finished it yet, and I figured why the hell not? I just gotta finish this thing eventually. So yeah. Sorry, fans on in the house, so always remember to make damn sure that you got every last little bit that you can possibly cut off the leads. And because I want to, I'm going to be putting my white top on here. Perfect. Make sure that your coils aren't touching the top before I forget to mention that. I gotta admit, I kind of like it. Well, it's not that I kind of like it, I really do like it. I mean, flavor's good on it. But I just realized this white one is actually smaller and wider than the black one. So I can get that in there. See? It's a little bit shorter too. That's a little weird. I didn't realize that. That actually makes a difference. So I mean, that's the way I build mine. Flavor is on point. I do like the flavor I get off this damn thing. I do not like, however, how hard it is to build. I can honestly say that if I have been building for as long as I have been, it would be a problem to build this thing. And I'll be honest, I do not like that fact. But pros to it are, of course, the fact that it does have silver coated contacts, both positive and negative. I mean, positive, everything positive basically is coated in silver on it. And because people are always bitching about ohm limits and safety, there you go, 0.3 ohms. So it is above what is recommended, which is 2.4 or 2.5 or some shit to safely vape. Now, like I said before, I like to leave a little bit of room between my RDA, and my mod. Just personally, it's just the way I like my shit. I was surprised by how many hits I can take off this damn thing without getting a dry hit. That, I gotta admit, is a bit of a shocker to me. But anyways, for what we're paying an FAG for it, I do like it. It is great for flavor. It is a little bit tricky to build. It takes a minute, but you can pick it up real easy. I know if you're experienced, you can pick it up. It's just a little bit of a learning curve, I guess you can say. But then again, that is also how I've always built my coils. So I've always done my center coils that same way. So, I mean, as far as performance is concerned, I like it. As far as building, it's a little bit tricky. It takes a little bit of a learning curve. But once you get that learning curve down, just no problem. You can build it all day long, no issues. First time I built it took me about 27 minutes, something like that. Yes, I do time myself when I build. But I'm not trying to record it and show you guys how to do it. I can probably get it done within about 3 minutes, give or take. But and again, I have been building for a while, so that does help me. Now, I like the way I like the fact that it's stainless. I like the way that it hits. It hits really smooth. It's real consistent. I mean, that might have more to do with the mod, but that is honestly something I like about it. The flavor on it is consistent no matter what. I mean, you take here, I'll reduce this thing and let's see how many hits I can get before I get a dry hit. I'm gonna try to do it so I don't get any spit back, because if you do over fill it, you will get spit back. That is guaranteed. And I just realized that I had a little bit of glitter on my hand when I screwed this top in, so there's a little bit of glitter in this thing. Ah, well, fuck it. What's the worst that can happen? One. And I'm still not dry. So, I mean, even though it does not look like it has a big juice well on it, it holds its own with its juice. I will say this, the RDA, the metal part, does get hot when you chain vape it, but you could just do the top drilling and you won't even feel it. But yeah, you need those 11 hits, 11 or 12 hits. I gotta admit, the way it looks on stainless steel mods, it is perfect. I like it. I like it a lot. Don't know what else to say about it. Airflow on it is, I mean, it's a little bit tighter than a Vector. It is a little bit tighter than a Vector, I will say that, but it's not by much. I mean, you still get some decent clouds out of it. Pros to this thing definitely are going to be the fact that it is silver coated on the complete 510 assembly, basically. I don't know what the plastic part is. It seems like a little bit weird. It's not Peak. It's not Durlin. I don't think it's Durlin. It's kind of soft and moldable, so I'm going to say it's not Durlin. But, yeah, cons for it, it's a little tricky to build if you don't know how to build right. The top part of it does get hot if you chain vape it. If you don't, you don't really have to worry about it. I will say this though, it does have the fact that it is tiny on its side. I mean, on my D2, this thing is fucking tiny. That's what it looks like on my D2. So, I mean, it is small. I will say that. It is very, very, very small. But, it has its pros and its cons, honestly.